Good afternoon. Today's tutorial is on the knotless braids, and I want you to be able to see the knotless braids, so you'll be able to judge them. I had already started on her braids. As you can see, I have the pattern already done, and they are there. People ask what kind of, and they're pretty long as well. I'm going to turn the camera. Good morning. This tutorial is on knotless braids. I have already begun on my client's hair. As you can see, they are already, some are already installed, and they are pretty long. Okay, so they're braided all the way down to the tip. They're already pretty long. A lot of people, I think knotless braids are actually one of the safest ways to do braids, and I will be displaying and showing you how. The question I have is, what type of hair do I use? I buy this pack of hair, okay? It is called Q Pre-Stretch Braiding Hair, and it is 28 inches. It is 100% canunculum. I don't do any braids that don't have the canunculum. Although canunculum now has different textures, but it's better to use a, I guess, a smoother texture for your hands. I've been braiding hair a long time, and one of the things I noticed is you don't have to hurt your fingers anymore. That's the great thing about it, okay? And so, who you need, they would come in 3 like this. There are 3 in the pack. And what you do is just take one out. I'm just going to undo, okay? You undo it. And this is how you should have. This is what you should see, okay? And what do you do from here? You're going to take the scissors and just cut that little rubber band off, okay? And I do set my hair so I can pull pieces, okay? So it's according to each person or however much hair you are pulling. But usually I set my pieces about this amount, okay? And I have them all on the tool that I'm using. I'll do as many. How many do I add in each braid? Possibly 4 to 5. And it does fluctuate due to the length of the braid, okay? How long you're doing the braid, how big the braid is, how much you want to add in. Those things do matter, okay? So I'll just pull them apart and have them all ready, okay? And so now we're on to doing the knotless braid. So I had put her hair in 4 sections, and in those 4 sections, that's how I was able to let you know how to install them, okay? Her hair is very well nourished, okay? As you can see, her edges is not as strong, but that's because she's still growing and her hair is there. So it's not like the hair is not there, okay? And in braiding, you're not here to pull this so tight that the person's braids take out the hair. It should enhance, okay? It should enhance the person's hair, okay? So let's get started. Things I still use in doing these is less jam, and I still use beeswax, okay? I use both of those to continue with my pattern, and I do use my anti-growth oil, okay? That's there. So how do I do? So first, we'll make the first part here, okay? And remember, if I told you, if you cannot, I will repeat myself 1,000 times. If you cannot make your part straight, there's no need to get frustrated. Just take a little bit of jam on your finger and go in the part, okay? You can look. I am in the part, okay? Trying to make sure you see this part, okay? If it's not as straight as you would like, put the jam in there. What do? You go back to that part after you put the jam there, and you define your part, okay? Make it work for you, okay? You see that? My part is really, really straight. If you don't think so, just go over it until you think it's straight, okay? Here I will use clamps, okay? I will clamp the hair up, and I am going to begin. Oh boy, I will get better at this as I go. I'm going to get ready to install the braid, okay? Now on the other side, you do always want to make sure you master what you did on the other side. The other side, she has 2 braids, okay? Here and here. So you want to make sure that you do the same exact thing that you did on this side on the other side, okay? All right, here we go. I'm gonna split it down the middle. I just like for my parts to be really good for the whole head, because people will come to you if they see that you care about your work, okay? You must care about your work. If you don't feel like doing hair that day, don't do it, because your work speaks volume. It brings people to you. They care for you. I'm putting a little beeswax and jam on the braid, okay? So now, I do have my braids up. Sometimes I don't want to feel like going across the person, and since I'm trying to show you how to do these braids, I want you to be able to see without the problem, okay? So here, what do? I have the product on top, on the back side, front side, and now I'm going to begin like a 3-prong, okay? In my 3-prong, I am going to take the hair and add it, okay? In each prong, I am going to add it, okay? add. Okay. As you go down a little bit, because our braids are a little lengthy, I add another one. Some people say, well, when do you know to add hair to a braid? When the braid begins to feel as if it is not the same size. Okay, if it's not the same size, then yes, you need to add hair. Before it get there, you'll see it in the braid. Okay, the braid will always show you. It will always show you. So that is how you do a knotless braid. I will get closer so you can see at the top. Once I get there, I will hold the video so you can see. And this is gonna take a little bit, so I will continue this video once it's on. And remember this, hold the hair. You don't have to, your stitches or your braid don't have to be so tight. It needs to be right. If you braid right and not cross plait, because some people don't know how to do nothing but cross plaits, that breaks off people's hair. If you braid the hair right, you won't have to worry about the tightness, because the tightness will automatically be in your hands. Okay? And I am braiding down to the end of this hair. I hate to come back and do all this, okay? So we will begin again in just a minute. All right, welcome back to the second half. As you can see, I have pretty much did the remaining of her head. And so I want you to be able to see how to really do the braidless knot. I promise to get a closer tutorial so you can see it. Okay, so what I do is I add the jam around the braid like this. Okay, add it all the way around. Then I take my beeswax, which is this, you guys. I take this and put this on the ends of the hair. Okay, you put this on the ends of the hair. Why? Well, you don't want your braids to look frizzy. The hair falls out the braid and all that stuff. So you put it on there. Okay, that's a little trick. Everybody haven't mastered how to add to make the hair knot be inside. I mean, so you can't see the hair, the natural hair. So what you do after you've done that, I rub it and I take my 3 prongs, okay? And I go ahead and I make my 3 prongs like that. Once I make my 3rd prong, I take the hair and I go around, okay? And I add to every stitch. That's 2 times. That's 3 times. That's 4 times. Okay, gonna add there. Then I begin to go under. I do the under braid. Some people haven't learned how to master the hair, not going through the braid. So if you have not mastered how to put this little hair inside of the braid so you can't see, option number 2 is add hair. Okay, so when you add the hair, you're going to take it around that. And you're just going to add it. Okay, and that's going to cover the hair. You see how it still looks the same? That's the objective here, is so that the hair won't stick out. I just did that for you guys so you can see how to really, 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 really add hair to it. And I'm going to add another piece because her braids are very long, okay? If you look inside my braid's still smooth, and I keep going, okay? You just keep braiding until you get to the very, very end, okay? This is, one woman told me if you can't comb the braids at the end, then that means you're cross stitching, okay? Your braiding hair should still always be smooth, able to comb while braiding. So you just keep going. If you notice a lot of hair that's coming out of this, that means that your stitching is not close enough. To make them close, just don't move so freakily down there. That changes the pattern. See that? That changes the pattern. But you're going to have little hair sticking out. Why? Because you've already added hair, and the end of that hair is in there. And you can really master where you don't have a whole lot of ends sticking out of the hair. That is very, very easy to get to. But in my years of braiding, you're going to always have some hair. So I'm always just going to cut them off and keep on going because I like to move very quickly. Okay, I go as long as I want to, or as long as the other braids, okay? See that? So I'm there. I'm going to do this one last time so you can see how to do it, okay? For the edges, I do ask or say you should use edge booster. Not a lot. I actually got too much. Just enough to put on there, okay? The reason why people edge boost gets white is because they use too much. You only need a little bit, okay? You're only going to always need just a little bit. And I'm still going to come back over it with my jam, like I showed you prior to. Okay. And that's what it should look like. Your product that you put on the hair is going to always be white. So again, you're going to go around and make your first stitch. Add hair. It's very, very easy, you guys. It's not a rocket scientist. The good thing about the knotless braids is your hair actually growing. Okay, it's not pulling. It's adding to the hair. I think the young people call it feed braids. Same concept. Okay, keep going. Okay, so this is where I go underneath, keeping my same vibe. Okay, once again, you get into the ends of the hair that's sticking out. Another option is the jam. Let me get the jam. You can take some jam and you can put on the ends just like that. That'll smoothen it in, okay? Your braids won't change. You see that? It actually puts it right in. It's very, very, very easy. Okay? It's the easiest thing you can do. I'm not going to make her first braid in the front of her head extremely long like the rest of them because it's the first braid. Yes, this stuff will, after you put underneath the dryer and all that, it will decrease, okay? The reason why it worked, the reason why it's white, because you're just now using it. Okay. All right. Should have a smooth 3-prong braid all the way down. If you've got hair sticking out while you're doing it, that means that you're stitching. Your prongs are too loose. You need to tighten them up. The way you tighten them up is you don't move as fast as you normally do. Okay, you stay in that spot to tighten it. You tighten the braid so it can stay a little longer. Okay. She's going to get beads on the end of her hair. You ask why I don't go to the end. She's going to get beads on the ends of her hair, okay? And I probably will have to do another picture to show you the very end or the finishing on the knotless braids with beads, okay? So now I'm finished with this. And take a look at her whole head, okay? Look at how neat they are. Look at how well they're kept. They're done with excellency, okay? Now it's time for the tedious things. These are things people don't want to do. Remember I told you about the ends of the braids having the hair sticking out of the braids. Most people take scissors and they clip them. I just buy, oh my, okay. It's just, it's cheap. It's only like $20, okay? So I take it and I just cut. It ain't cutting the braid. I'm laying it flat to the braid and just going over it. Just cutting, okay? I ain't doing a whole lot. I ain't doing the most. I'm just going through my braid, cutting it off. Yes, I will dip her hair in hot water, okay? It's supposed to be a little faster than this, but I think my battery is actually dying in it or something, or I need to charge. It don't have a battery, but I actually need charging. And so your finished work is very important. This is why people come back to you, for the reason of your end work is great. They can see the braid. Their hair ain't all itchy on their back, you know. That's how you do it. You just go up to it and you go through each braid. It's flat. You know, you ain't trying to cut the braid, because what's the point of braiding the hair if you're going to cut the braid, okay? You're just going through, taking off the assets. Get a real good close-up shot to that so you can see what I'm talking about. Just cutting that off, the assets, okay? Just going up on it. Turn the braid around if I need to, wherever the hair is. Okay, it don't take as long as it would with scissors, because you're using clippers. That's just my shortcut. Everybody don't define their shortcuts, okay? Define your own shortcut. If you feel like cutting the hairs. Okay, this is the finishing touch. I have dipped the braids in hot water, and everything looks perfect. Now I'm about to add the beads to the end, but it looks really, 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 really good. Okay. If you are wanting to get your braids done, you can call me at 678-334-5332. This is Sassy Styles. Because I am sassy. I do great work. I care about my patients or my clients' hair. There's not a time that I will do wrong towards you. Okay, I don't overprice. I price it right as well. There's no point in pricing hairstyles and it does not hold up to the fact. But give me a call, 678-334-5332. This is me counting off. See you next time. All right, this is the finished product of braids. Turn around. Stand back a little for me. Yep, you see? Turn around, let people see. Put them all together for me. Yep. Nice. Turn to the back. All right, turn around. Yep, that is good.